Oh my gosh, what a day it is to be a fan of the Indianapolis Colts. I can hardly believe that happened last night. Like, I had to wake up and check my phone just to make sure I did not dream that scenario up for the Colts. Like, I was like, is today actually Thursday? Was that real? And the experience of watching that draft as a Colts fan, the anxiety once Tyler Warren made it past the New York Jets, at least for me, I'm speaking for myself, was very, very, very real, because that was your first obstacle if you were a Colts fan. Are the Jets going to go tight end or tackle? And now once that happens, you start looking at all the other teams and thinking, well, okay, who's their tight end? Who's their tight end? Who's their tight end? And the Panthers, they could have easily justified taking Tyler Warren. They don't do it. The Saints, all the same. The Bears, the fucking Bears. My goodness, we love the Bears. They take Colston Loveland, and now you're looking at it like you're Michael Scott in that scene of The Office, like, oh my God, it's happening. Everybody calm down. Everyone calm down, right? Like it was one of those, because you're saying, okay, the next three teams after the Bears have a tight end. George Kittle's on the 49ers. Dallas has Jake Ferguson, and Miami has Jonnu Smith. Those are three guys that are quality starting tight ends in this league. Now, to be fair, we know Dallas loves bringing in names and star players. So when they drafted Tyler Booker, when Goodell comes out there and says the name Tyler, I damn near fainted. Like I mean, that's what it was. I almost passed the fuck out. And I'm sure all of you did as well. Now, there's a lot of things to talk about. I mean, number one, if you know a Bears fan, okay, and I know Indy pretty close to Chicago, all things considered, console them. Tell them you're sorry. Root for them if you must. Whatever you have to do to show your appreciation to that sorry fuck for their team screwing this thing up. Now, I know the guys in the play, they have to go out there and play the games on Sunday, right? I know Ben Johnson is one hell of a coach, but in my opinion, Tyler Warren was far and away the better tight end prospect as compared to Colston Loveland, which I've documented very, very clearly in the show leading up to the draft. We have so much to talk about here, but before I even get too crazy into this, we're doing a giveaway over here, okay? And I want to make sure that before I just start ranting about Tyler Warren, we talk about it. This is the easiest giveaway you'll have ever entered in your entire life. There's going to be two people. Each of you wins one of two paintings and a handwritten note from me. All you have to do is follow me on X at Justin RTB Colts, or click the link in the description of the episode. I'm going to show the paintings for those of you watching on video. Audio listeners, sorry. You're going to have to trust me that these things are fucking gorgeous. So, one of them, the linebacker formerly known as Darius. One of you will be winning this Shaquille Leonard painting. And the next one, the grand prize, the big kahuna, Peyton Manning, the sheriff. This thing is gorgeous. I mean, not for anything. Just look at it. Look at it. All you have to do for a chance to win this bad boy is follow me on X. That's it. You don't have to like anything. You don't have to repost anything. You don't have to comment on anything. Literally just follow me at Justin RTB Colts, and you might be the person that wins that right there. Winner announced Monday, April 28th. On the show, we'll do kind of like a random drawing type of situation. Still figuring out the exact way in which I'm going to do that. But April 28th will be the day that we find out who wins one of those two, or which two of you win those paintings right there. Okay, back to business. Back to Tyler Warren. It is not all that often that you get a tight end prospect that is coveted for the things he's coveted for. That's why I liked him so much. Sure, you get guys who are good receiving threats all the time, and Tyler Warren's hands are elite. But when you have a tight end prospect that is rugged, that is violent, that's a bowling ball with the ball in his hands after the catch, willing to block, has the strength to do it, has college experience as a lead blocker and fullback, used to play quarterback, which is a massive, massive deal when it comes to the way he thinks the game, and it shows up on tape. I mean, the way Tyler Warren, one of the biggest strengths I saw in him, what I'm not quite convinced about yet is if you man Tyler Warren up, is he going to get separation? Doesn't matter if he does. He's one of these guys who a 50-50 ball looks to be a 70-30, an 80-20 in his favor. But when you're running zone coverage, the way he's able to find the soft spot in a zone is something to marvel at. He kind of has, not that he has the same skill set, but the same way in which Josh Downs just has an innate feel for finding open space against the defense, Tyler Warren, much of the same. And a lot of guys can do that on some level, but when you are running routes and you're able to look at that through the lens of experience as a quarterback and find space for your quarterback to throw, it's an invaluable piece of experience to have as a receiver. If I was a little more credible of a mind in football, I would be able to explain it a bit more in its entirety, but it's true. And I'm hoping that maybe some of you guys who are like real football junkies, maybe guys who played the game, you can vouch for this in the comment section. But I'm also hoping that you have some of the more mainstream talking heads bringing this point up. Travis Kelce is a guy also who gets credit for having that quarterback experience in high school and his early college days. That's part of the reason a guy like him is a quarterback's best friend. Again, having that quarterback experience as a receiver makes you view the field so differently in the way that you're able to freestyle and maneuver in that open space, just understanding the nuances of where you need to be for that quarterback to find you. Having been a quarterback, not me, I'm saying if you, I was a flag football quarterback, take that as you may. Having been a quarterback, what looks open to you and I on the screen doesn't feel quite the same way for a quarterback. And if you're a receiver and have not played the position, it's hard for you to relate to that experience. When you had, it just gives you a little bit of an advantage in terms of putting yourself in position to get the football. And I think the Colts, man, I really do. I think they got themselves a very, very special football player here. Now, let's be fair. This is a rookie in Tyler Warren, and there's mouths to feed in this offense. It may not all come together for him on day one. There's not a single rookie that comes into the league that is a finished product. So we have to keep that in mind. But it may also all come together on day one. We don't know. It doesn't really matter. That's not the point. To get a complete tight end that can play on the line, that can play off the line, that's the type of tight end that does not grow on trees. And Chris Ballard and the Colts right now are in the midst of perhaps the greatest offseason for the Colts in recent memory. I mean, can you name one off the top of your head that you preferred to what we've seen so far? Now, there's still some time left. Round 2 and round 3 is tonight. The rest of the draft is going to take place throughout the weekend. I want to talk about what this team still needs, what we should be paying attention to as fans, and from there, I'll be gone until, call it, again, Sunday night or Monday when we announce the winner. This weekend, going to visit family, the whole deal, okay? Let's talk about it. Before we do, I got to introduce the show. My name is Justin. This right here is the Ride the Bench Colts podcast. As always, ask everyone watching and enjoying the show, go ahead, shoot it a like. It's going to help me get out to as many Colts fans as humanly possible. Of course, subscribe if you want to be a part of the journey. We're on our way to 4,000 subscribers by the start of next season. That's the goal. Audio listeners, leave a 5-star, 5-star, 5-star review. Let the people know how much you enjoy the show. But most importantly, if you're going to engage in the comment section on YouTube, be civil with one another. You don't know what the person on the other end of the keyboard is going through. That being said, there would be absolutely no fucking reason whatsoever for negativity on a day like today. But I digress. Let's get back into the business. Let's get back into talking a little bit about the rest of the draft because, I mean, Tyler Warren, gosh, that's so good. I mean, you're talking. Listen, Dallas Clark is arguably my favorite Colts player of all time. He's one of the players, obviously Peyton Manning being one of them as well. You know, that whole Colts team. But Dallas Clark was my fit to go out there with no gloves. I mean, what a fucking baller. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, on paper, again, he's got to go out and play. He's got to develop all these things. But on paper, if you're talking about how good Tyler Warren can be, I mean, I'm just saying. Like, I'm what I'm not saying, infer what I'm not saying right now because I don't want to say it because it's blasphemous. But that's the type of guy the Colts have with Tyler Warren. And one of the things I viewed going into this draft as possible, if not likely, particularly because I thought there was no way Tyler Warren would be there at 14. I thought if he was, you have to take him, which is exactly what they did. So good on him. But I viewed it as very, very possible that the Colts would go out there and trade for a Dallas Goedert or a Mark Andrews if they were not able to come away with Tyler Warren. Of course, they did, as I just said, 8 times. We all know this. Unless you're living under a rock as a Colts fan, we know that number 44, if he's allowed to wear the number, is a member of the Colts. So his presence on the team officially takes the possibility off the table of a Dallas Goedert or a Mark Andrews being being a member of the Colts this upcoming season, barring a stunning sequence of events. So in terms of sheer positional needs for the Indianapolis Colts going into the rest of this draft, just so we know where we're at, linebacker, still need to replace EJ Speed. I know they're talking about Jalen Carley's, but you also lost Grant Stewart. You just don't have a whole lot of depth at that position either. The talk is all about competition this offseason. It's obvious that the Colts will be adding a linebacker. Interior offensive line, even if we have the guys that we think might be starting right now, for nothing else, for competition and depth, we need to get that accomplished. Edge rushers, interior defensive line, much for the same reason as the interior offensive line, particularly on the edge rusher side of things, right? You have Samson Ebukam and Kwity Paye right now going into the last years of their deal. Samson Ebukam coming off the torn Achilles. We know he was a productive pass rusher prior, but that's a hard injury to come back from. We can't expect him to hit the ground running immediately going into this season. We lost Hurricane Dio Adangbo, and we need someone to grow next to Laitu Latu. You have this guy, Mike Green, available out of Marshall. He's has some character issues. He's slipping a little bit. Can that push him all the way to 45? Potentially for the Indianapolis Colts. That would be something. I mean, Laitu Latu, just to speak about him briefly, that's a guy the Colts right now are relying on very, very heavily to take a leave. And if he does, by the way, watch out. I mean, that's a conversation for a different day, but my goodness, there's a lot of things to like about the Colts roster right now and some of the young talent we have. Either way, the three positions I said, linebacker, interior offensive line, and defensive line. I'm going to pair edge rushers and interior defensive line together. Those are the three positions that we have to keep an eye on as the rest of the draft plays out. There's other things I think we can use, but ultimately, I think those three positions are going to take up the bulk of the next couple of days for us. I don't expect it without them trading up, just real quick here. But if the Colts somehow were to get Carson Schlesinger out of UCLA as a linebacker in the second round here, I mean, my goodness, you'd be talking about, again, one of the elite off seasons I've maybe ever seen in my life as a Colts fan. Not that I'm 50, 60 years old. I'm not even 30 yet. But I've watched enough football. I've been a diehard for 15, 20 years, whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure if any offseason on paper can trump the one that we're in the middle of right now. Another question for us in this draft. Are there any potential surprises in store? I don't know, but I will say this. We support Anthony Richardson over here wholeheartedly, rooting for Anthony Richardson. His upside is immense. The ceiling is limitless. If you are Shane Steichen and Chris Ballard, and by some act of divine intervention, Shedeur Sanders is staring you in the face at the 45th pick in the second round, can you really, in good faith, pass that up? Now, the answer to that question from you may very well be yes. Yes, I can do it. And considering what you have on the roster right now, you know, the worst case scenario for the Indianapolis Colts in this upcoming season is that the quarterback situation does not work out and you get another chance next year in what many consider to be a very, very, very strong quarterback class. But this guy, Shedeur Sanders, has very rare accuracy, exceptional, really, the types of which I'm not sure you can teach, right? Like, that's what you're talking about when you talk about the ball placement of a Shedeur Sanders. Now, listen, the Colts are not getting Shedeur Sanders, okay? Don't mistake what I'm saying as a prediction. It's more of just a question for discussion, little food for thought. If you're Chris Ballard and Shane Steichen and he keeps slipping, I mean, would you pass him up? Would you pass him up with the 45th pick in the second round? That's all I want to know. Anyway, let me know. Do you have a wish list of players going into day 2, day 3, and the rest of the draft? Curious to hear your thoughts, but that's an episode. My name is Justin. This right here was the Ride the Bench Colts podcast. Again, follow me at Justin RTB Colts on X for a chance to win one of those two incredible Peytons, Peyton Manning, or the linebacker formerly known as Darius, Shaquille Leonard, with a handwritten note from yours truly for being here at this juncture in the show's trajectory. But until next time, go Colts.